Chapter 1. Communicating well with children.
When a parent has cancer, the whole family is affected. But I think it's important to know that no two families are the same. We have mum and dad families, we have same-sex families, we have melded families. And so there's no blanket rule about how each family should cope. There are some fundamentals, but it does affect the whole family, and I think parents shouldn't see themselves as the ones dealing with the cancer. They need to think about their children, grandchildren, extended family.
It's very important for parents to communicate with their kids about the diagnosis of cancer, because a diagnosis will interrupt family life, and kids will notice, and kids will wonder, and kids will have their own imagination about what's happening. And so that's always better for parents to communicate with their kids if there is a diagnosis in cancer.
There are some key principles that parents can keep in mind in this process of communication. Firstly, be guided by the child, by their age, by their questions. If children have questions, we need to respond to them. Be guided by the child's emotional state. If children are clearly distressed or fearful, then their primary need at that time is for reassurance. Greater bits of information as needed can always be given later. So it needs to be a flexible approach that keeps lines of communication open.
Nothing was ever held back, and I think it was important for them that we were just being upfront and honest straight away. Either way, one thing is they would probably find out somehow.
Or assume the worst.
Or assume the worst. So if we don't give them the information, they'll start filling in the gaps themselves, and the gaps they start to fill in
could be probably going to be
worse.
way worse than what was actually
exactly. So
the reality.
You don't want to lie, right? So yeah, I think it was good. Just they told me the truth. Yeah, that's like you don't want your kid worrying like, oh, they're lying to me when, dad's in hospital. I mean, I would have found that anyway, but...
I don't think that there's ever one right time or one right way to have this type of difficult conversation with your child where you tell them that you have cancer. And I think parents are often very hard on themselves, thinking they only have one opportunity to get it right. It's not like that. It's likely to be a series of conversations over time. And what we'd like to encourage is for parents to have a sort of an open, honest communication with their children, that they can check in with them on an ongoing basis and keep asking questions.
When you're communicating with your child, be open and honest, but also keep it very simple, because if they're at the age that Jasmine is, which she was 3 at the time, she's now 5, there's only a certain amount that they're going to be able to take in and understand and comprehend. So that's really important. And the other thing is, you know your child best.
I always tell parents when they start the conversation with their children is actually to find out what they know. That's always the best way to begin, because then you know how much they know about cancer or how much they know about what's been happening in the family. So you can you can start by saying something like, when mum has been going to the hospital quite a few times this few weeks, do you know what that's about? Those are some of the things. Or you can say, have you ever heard of the word cancer? That's probably something you need to know if they know enough information to use the word cancer again.
Before talking to your children for the first time, it might be helpful for parents to think about how their children have reacted in the past to difficult situations. So parents know their children best, and how they've reacted in the past is a good indicator of how they will react to this news.
My kids probably reacted the way I expected them to. Nicholas is naturally really inquisitive, so he sort of asked all the questions, wanted to know, okay, what does this mean? What's going to happen? When's Dad going to be home? Sam and Carla are a little bit different, and I think for them it was just a little bit of, okay, I need to just take some time to process that. So the questions didn't come from them straight away.
Remember, The whole family is affected by parental cancer. Use open, honest communication with your children. Without communication, children may notice changes and worry, be confused and feel isolated. Parents have more than just one opportunity to get it right. This will be an ongoing conversation. Ask children what they already know about cancer and what they want to know. Children are likely to respond how they usually do. Parents know their children best.